Hello, everyone. It's Nikki Batgirl D'Angelo here with a very happy and blinded Benjamin Lesnick.
Hello, I'm not totally blinded. I'm
Can
getting
you
better.
can you play the piano? No, I'm just kidding.
I can do that. Da 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 da.
That's horrible. Horrible
It's not,
person am I? I'm learning all about diversity and inclusion in school and at Apple, and here I am making stupid jokes. Um, no, you've been out for a bit with your detached lens, or was that what it was?
yes. I had prior to this I had an artificial lens in my eye, which became detached, and this is all horrifying sounding, but it floated down to the bottom of my eye, so I could only see like a. It was weird. Too much light was coming in, so I couldn't look at anything with a white background, and I could kind of only read in this little circle at the bottom of my eye.
So did you have to wear those eclipse glasses all the time?
I have these cool glasses. There.
So
I mean, this is purely a fashion choice now.
so if you were able to see, you would have been able to see the eclipse had you been in Georgia or North Carolina or Tennessee or yeah.
She said she went out in the parking lot at work and they saw partial eclipse, so it sounded fun.
Oh, it's fun here. It was knowing about astronomy, knowing that we were getting 96 and 97%, but also knowing that 4% of the sun lights up a world, People were like, it didn't get dark. I'm like, nope, didn't get dark.
I liked that it was something that everybody could do together. No matter what side of any argument you're on, it was a fun science thing to enjoy. So that was cool.
It was. I was very impressed with it. So this isn't the first time you've had issues with your eye. You said you have an artificial lens. How did this all start?
Ah, gosh, it goes back a long, long time. I was born with a genetic condition called Stickler syndrome, which causes your body to produce collagen, connective tissue, not quite right. It's like having the wrong Lego instructions. So my DNA says build it this way instead of this way. So it causes weirdly specific. It still works as connective tissue, but it causes weirdly specific problems. My ears aren't too good. I have this really flat face. I have very flexible, but it also causes eye problems. So I kind of went my whole life knowing I would have problems with my eyes eventually. And in high school, my left retina detached or tore, and I had surgery after surgery to try to get it back on. Basically, the problem is that the connective tissue that holds your retina on isn't as good as a normal person, so it comes off more often, and it's much harder to get it to stick back on. Like the vitreous goo in your eye likes to try to pull it off again. So they did 8 or so surgeries on my left eye, and they gave up in the end. People probably noticed I have like a normal blind guy looking left eye. I know people have asked me about that before. So that was a really depressing high school period. I was 96 to whenever, and you spend after you have these retina surgeries where they want to keep the retina back on, they put this glob of either gas or silicone gel in your eye, and to try to keep the retina back on. So you have to kind of sit on your face like this for months at a time. So it would be surgery, 4 months of lying on my face, surgery, 4 months of lying on my face, which I'm sure caused all sorts of social problems in my brain. But I made it through that, and then I went to college, University of Texas. I'm a wing commander. The day I was supposed to start college, my right eye went out. All the way. It was really bad. I went to I was in Austin for my first day there, moving from Washington D.C. And I went to the retina doctor. They said, "Yeah, you need to have some emergency surgery right now." It was like a 12-hour procedure. It was awful. I got infected because it was such a long procedure. It swelled up to about this size, and it really seemed like that was it for me being able to see. It was not a hopeful time. But they didn't give up. They did surgery after surgery after surgery, and it eventually got stable. I had an inquisitor at the time. I find myself really, really lucky. And I posted about this on Reddit. It was really the Wing Commander community that kept me sane through all that, because, when you're 17, 18 years old, your high school buddies want to go off and have their own lives. And so it was amazing to be able to connect with people who seem to care about me, and, it definitely saved my life. But as a result of all that surgery, I ended up having 30 or so surgeries at that point. They'd done so much work that it had basically made my lens in the front opaque. So they had to take out my original lens and put in an artificial one, which was great at the time. I could see better than I ever had. I didn't need thick glasses anymore. And it was stable for 15 or 16 years. And then this happened.
Well, so you had a long period of time between operations. Has the technology changed at all to make it so the lens will probably stay a little bit longer now?
I hope so. Certainly the just kind of general eye technology has improved crazily. I remember when I was a kid, they would strap you to a board and open your eyes as wide as possible, and an old man would have like a giant lens that would kind of try to peer into the back.
Yeah.
And now they're like, go sit in front of this machine. Okay, here you go.
So did they do it with like robots or something? Like a robotic arm, or?
So the surgery is still done by as far as I could tell, I was asleep, thankfully, a person. But
it was done by robots. Oh, God. They do like certain heart surgeries now with the big robotic arms, with the doctor sitting controlling the arms. It's kind of crazy. Yeah. It's so precise they could peel a skin off a grape and then sew it back on. It's kind of weird.
But I think that's pretty much what they do with the eye. They had to go in and cut out the old one and attach a new one to the front of my eye. It sounds like a horrible procedure, and I'm, again, very glad that anesthesia still exists.
Yes, yeah, for your sake, I am too. Well, for everything I went through, yes, definitely. So, have you? You got your eyesight back after months and months and months and many, many, many surgeries before. Have you ever, in the 2 times that you've been unable to see, worked in any way to use other methods to be able to read? You didn't learn Braille or anything like that, right?
I actually did learn Braille.
Awesome.
Because I was in high school the first time this happened, and when I could come back to school, they taught me Braille. I learned to use a cane, just in case sort of things. I think there's kind of a confusion about Braille. You don't really read a novel in Braille. It's more for elevator signs and menus and things. When you see an actual book written in Braille, it's just insanely. It's like multiple giant volumes. So audiobooks are great, and the technology there has improved so much.
That's where we were going. Okay, good.
Back in the day, I used to. I couldn't see. My mom would go to the library, and she would get whatever the 5 books they had were. So and back then everything was on 2 cassette tapes, so it was abridged and kind of chunky. And now we've got Audible, and we've got an Echo in here, so she's been reading me books. It's been great.
Alexa, order me batteries. No.
Alexa, read my book.
Getting your book from Audible. Resuming the power.
That is awesome.
There's 6 minutes left in the chapter. Then 12 hours, 56 minutes left in the book.
Alexa, stop.
That's pretty awesome. Yeah, I like when, Gene Hackman or Martin Sheen or, Christopher Lee, any one of those are reading the books,
I listened to the Star Wars the new Battlefront book, which is performed by the lady who's playing the new main character, so that was really cool.
That's cool.
There's a lot more artistry to it than it seemed like there used to be.
Yeah, I love when I hear the books. I love to read, but I love to listen to them because I feel like sometimes just hearing the way that they read them, especially when you travel long distances.
Mm-hmm.
So no TV, no Netflix, no nothing.
No, because, well, for the first 2 weeks, there was blood in the front of my eye. I couldn't see anything. It was just like I could see like a light in the distance. So I couldn't really navigate Netflix or anything like that at that point. Over the past week or so, it's gotten much clearer. I can use a TV now. I can zoom in on a PC. Yeah, by the way, Macs. I will plug Macintosh forever because the two-finger zoom is just so much better than any other accessible thing ever.
You really have to call 1-800-MY-APPLE, ask for accessibility, and say, help me set up my devices. And they will configure all your devices except for your phone and stuff. They'll probably need Alexis to do that. Not Alexa, but Alexis. But you'd be surprised how they actually can work with audible signals, and also with when you pull the device close to you, it will automatically zoom in. It's like all cool things. Cool. Yeah, it's all cool things like that. So
yeah, I'm using my my MacBook Pro right now just because the zoom is so fantastic.
Yeah, it is awesome. I do that. I do the two-finger zoom, and I also do the if you set up zoom, you hold down the control button, and then, because I'm blind as a bat these days, and then you just push forward with 2 or pull back with 2, and it will zoom in even more over the cursor. So wherever the cursor is. Oh, that's the one you're talking about? Oh, that's awesome, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's in that operating system layer, so it's so much better than any of the ones using Windows.
Yep. And we're all about making sure that everybody could use our devices. And even if you couldn't see, there's always voiceover. Right? So what was the greatest challenge over the last couple of weeks? I mean, obviously Alexis is going to work every day, and you have other roommates. There's no one there, right?
It's been lonely, and you kind of feel for all the like Star Trek Next Generation and Voyager stories where they take a Borg out of the collective, 709 and 3rd of 5 and all that, just because, wow, that is really the hardest part, is not being on Twitter, coming up with a dumb joke and not being able to tweet it, wanting to just chat with people about stuff I like, just that whole social element is just, I know if this had become permanent, I could have learned to do, text to speech, and I could have gotten back, but it was tough for that first couple weeks, where you're in a vacuum. So, luckily Alexis was, my lifeline. She would read my eBay watch list and, check my email and, let me know what's going on in the world.
You should have turned her off in that respect. Oh my God. What's going on with our world?
That was kind of a shock too, because I was using the default tell me the news thing on the Echo, and just every story about North Korea for whatever reason. So I didn't follow anything else, and then I got back. Everyone terrible now.
Charlottesville, and oh God, it was just horrible couple of weeks there. Many weeks.
Yeah. In that respect, it was kind of like Forever War, where he gets back to Earth and he finds out everything is terrible now, and he re-enlists.
Re-enlist. Let me go do my part. So everyone's like off in Germany, in Cologne, or Cologne, however you want to pronounce it. Do you miss it?
I do miss it. I wish I could have gone. It's such a crazy process because it's the most stressful thing in the world for everybody involved. But as soon as it's done, you are so relieved and you feel so accomplished. It's the best feeling in the world. So I hope Jared and Chris and everybody are taking it in.
So that everybody, as soon as I said I was going to talk to Ben this week, so many people on my stream and that I was talking to from our Lightspeed Lunatics was all saying, make sure that I give you their well wishes. You've gotten so many from people. How have you received these? Have people sent gifts? Have people sent people to your doorway, like food, snacks, anything like that?
Oh, I don't think anything crazy like that. Okay. But it's messages from all over the world, and it's so kind. Everybody is so nice. It's hard to express how grateful I am. I am so glad that this community exists because wanting to get back to it has been such a motivating factor in recovery. I think. Maybe that's just the aging hippie talking, but
don't ever say aging. We're just gonna live forever, just in a different plane of existence at some point.
Hey, just seeing how they've advanced this eye technology in the last 20 years, I'm sure we'll have microbots that keep us alive in a state of constant torment.
Constant torment. Yeah, the what was that last year on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.? The framework. Yeah, that was it. No, I'm interested because I know that when I went through my surgeries and I was laid up, like there was one that you said you couldn't move for 40 days or whatever it was, or 4 months. 7 days not moving drove me crazy. But it was also the periods of my most creativity, my highest level of creativity in life. So I know that you're always thinking about Star Citizen, about Wing Commander, about whatever. Have you come up with any awesome ideas for ships while you were like just sitting there just thinking with your eyes closed?
I don't know if I should admit while I'm on this. Yeah, no,
Oh, well, you're not going to tell us what it is. You know that you don't have to give away anything.
I have been running through our marketing for next year in my head over and over. And of course, Jared would come by after work every day, and he would go, here's this problem and this problem and this problem. And I'm, okay, I'll tell them to do this. It's fun.
I knew they'd find a way to make you work while you were sick or out. I knew it. You're just too important to all of us. You know?
Well, there were a couple of days where it was one thing after another, and then I actually Skyped into a meeting without being able to see, and then it all quieted down. I think they go, oh, wow, yeah, he actually can't see.
No, they replaced the lens in your eye, and suddenly you're like Steve Austin. Right? Oh, wait, can yours zoom in like that? No.
That would be cool.
That would be cool. How would you control it? Would it be like a little button on your finger or something? That would be good.
The nerves in your eyelid control it somehow, maybe? Like, I move my cheek up and it zooms or something.
Well, we have biometrics or whatever they are in Star Citizen, I'm sure. Enhancements. So maybe that's something that you just actually thought of that they could put in the game for us.
I'm sure we'll get it in real life someday.
Yeah, right.
Also, every time I go to the doctor, because you have to go to the doctor every couple of days, every time they become obsessed with my left eye. They're like, ooh, we want to fix it, but again.
Not again?
No, it's
amazing. You know, that's what I was saying about the technology. Sophie, stop that. The technology's come so far. Is it possible? I mean, what do they have to do? Put the retina back together again and put another lens there?
Yeah, they have to put the retina back in, and it's still got the silicone implant that they just never took out before. So but I think it's like a turkey sandwich to the doctors. Like, ooh, a challenge. So.
And then, the challenge to them is you lying on your face for 4 months.
Yes.
That's not good. It's like, if they could remove that second piece, it would be like, yeah, do it. But I don't want to be laid up lying on my face. They'd be wheeling your bed into, CIG going, all right, Ben, what do you think? Like, hold it down under the bed. Let me see. Would not be good. And I'm sure you probably have nightmares of going back to that after having to deal with that before, right?
Yeah, especially go right before this. Like, oh my God, is this going to be the next 5 years of my life? It was very, very scary. And I kind of made a decision to tell everybody online my story because I wanted them to know, and everybody was so supportive. It was incredible.
Good. I know that you are like one of the most loved people, but it's because you are also one of the nicest and kindest people I've ever met. The way that you just welcome anybody in. And we as a group, as a community, are so grateful for you and so grateful that you have that you are getting past this. So what is the one thing that you're dying to see the most right now? With a clear eye, no blood in it, and not having to wear those glasses.
Well, so it turns out that this eye thing has been going on for possibly 2 years. It's been slowly getting worse and worse. So now I have to go back and see all the movies from the past year that I didn't really see. So I'm eager to see what Rogue One actually looked like.
That would be cool. And you're not a Game of Thrones fan, right?
No, I am a Game of Thrones fan. I follow it. In fact, we listened to the episodes, and Allie would describe, like, okay, now there's a battle, and the dragons burning people from the sky. So I do follow it.
All right, don't say anything. There's some people that haven't watched it yet. They like to binge after it comes out, which is kind of crazy.
Okay, I'm sorry. There are no dragons. There are no battles.
There's no dragon. There's no such thing as a dragon. No, not at all. Yeah, I am so into that it's like when Sunday hits, it's like, don't talk to me. I just got to get ready for this. It's like immediately when they brought. Do you remember when people like got pieces of Star Citizen? Everybody was sending it out, showing the lightning, I guess it was, and other. So everybody was looking at it. I'm like, I don't want to look at it. I don't want to look at it. I don't want to look at it. I want it to come to pass. I want to see it for the first time in game. And of course, in Game of Thrones, somebody leaked the episodes, and idiots that I work with, who are not idiots, they're all good people, they just don't have the willpower I do, have to watch it and then tell everybody that it was awesome and what happened.
I had that experience. So when I moved to Hollywood, my brother's a Hollywood reporter, and one of the first things you notice is there's access to like upcoming TV seasons for everything. And it was kind of fun at first, like, oh, I'm going to watch the next year if It's Always Sunny, and whatever. Yeah. But after a while, you're like, wait a minute, I can't talk to anybody about this.
Right.
This would have kept me entertained for 3 months if it were on TV. So I've kind of, after a month or two of that, I just went back to regular broadcast TV when things are on.
Yeah, I like when it comes out. I could see it in my 4K or 1080p. I don't have to see it with like time code on it or something like that. I like to just watch. It's good.
And there's that community aspect. I want to tweet something about it, a dumb joke or some observation or something, and have people care and interact. And community.
Yeah, community. Do you know if they've replaced you, which is impossible, with anybody for Dragon Con?
There will be somebody else for Dragon Con.
There's David, I know, right?
David will certainly be there. The last I heard, it might be Eric Davis, who would be a fantastic guest.
That would be amazing. Yeah. Okay.
I don't want to promise that because I have.
Don't promise. Don't promise. Yeah. No, we're not promising.
But I know he was interested. So
we know Nikki Batgirl D'Angelo will be there along with Sophie Girl and a couple of other people. So that's good. Come see us. We're awesome. Yeah.
And if for some reason, if I could somehow recover in the next week or so, and we'll see, then I will try to make it. But
well, if you do, you're covered. You're taken care of. We'll find ways to get you everywhere you need to. Well, there's always Uber, but we can get you everywhere.
Yeah, I miss you guys, and I love the convention. It would be good.
I'll bring Sophie Cat. She could be your seeing eye cat.
I miss cats too.
Cats? You gotta go to. No, that's not on Broadway anymore. You mean like kittens?
What's that?
You mean like kittens, or you mean like big karate cats?
No, like regular sized house cats. Because our apartment here is pet free, which sucks. We can't have cats.
Wow. So before you had the surgery, you said something to me about possibly being able to get something from Wing Commander Past. Did that ever come to fruition?
Still in the works.
All right, good. You notice how I'm not saying what it is, right?
In fact, last weekend was the 19th birthday of WCNews.com.
That's right. I saw that.
Like the website is noticeably older than it. The website has existed for longer than I had before I started it. It's crazy.
Well, I had probably some of the best 2 weeks of my life. I started school thinking, holy cow, this is going to be hard. I'm not going to be able to do my stream. I'm not going to be able to do anything for Star Citizen. And that came through, the 19th anniversary, and I remember it coming through because it was like an email or a post or a tweet from somebody, and it came through immediately alongside of me getting one of my classes switched.
Oh, that's great.
Same class, it just put it into the same day as my other 3 classes. That changed everything. all of a sudden everything got cake. I have time, I have leisure time, and everything went well. And it was like, I remember that because I was like, oh, WC News, 19 years. And I'm like, okay. And then that came through. And 5 days.
The best knowledge.
Yeah, 5 days from now, I have my first flight in 17 years. I'm going back to flying airplanes.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, but the whole X-plane thing pushed me into it.
It's an expensive hobby, but that is really cool.
I've got a top secret thing just going back into the Civil Air Patrol. Should be able to get some flight time out of that. That should be good.
I feel safer already.
There's nothing to be safe from me flying. All right, so you potentially, which is an outside chance, kind of like one of those pray for it, but it might not happen, could come see us next week if you could heal better.
I hope so. I would love to. I don't think it's likely, but
I don't either.
Flights to Atlanta are so cheap. I can keep it in my back pocket up until then.
I keep on looking at that. Just me flying out to SNA is like nothing, and I know that's far from you, but SNA to Atlanta is cheap. LAX to Atlanta isn't expensive. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's not that bad. Well, that would be good to see you. And when do you go back to work?
I go to the doctor on Monday. They're going to review me and see if I can come back. Hopefully. Right now, there's like blood in the front of my eye that's mostly gone. It's just, so a week ago, everything was kind of puke yellow, and then everything was neon yellow, and now it's just a little bit yellow. And then there's blood in the back of my eye that's taking longer to go away, and I kind of see that as like blurry spots around my vision. So it's just a waiting game.
Okay. The body, I mean, I know the body refreshes the liquid in the eye, but it's like over the course of a month, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is that why it takes so long for it to go?
Yeah. And I guess sometimes when they do this surgery, it's not a problem at all. The doctor said I had really soft eyes and that they had to do extra cutting. And he said it so matter-of-factly. Like, by the way, you're disabled for 6 weeks because your eyes are soft. I didn't mention this before. I don't know why.
That is just so bad. You have soft eyes.
Soft eye.
It's like, can I work them out something? Make them a little harder?
I'll do eye exercises. That's about my speed.
It's about my speed these days. Oh, boy. Well, Ben, it's always a pleasure to speak to you. I missed you so much, but I was praying that you would get through this, and I'm so happy that you are getting through it. Thank God.
Thank you so much. I definitely felt everybody's prayers and thoughts, and I'm really glad to be almost back.
Good.
And I missed you a lot, too. It was
good.
It's so cool.
So where are you going to be at 12 o'clock tomorrow? Where are you going to be watching the live stream?
I will be listening to it right here in my living room.
So you're going to be listening to it like us. But you already know what it is.
You know, I don't.
What?
You know, there's so many fires in the works, and you never know which ones are going to be the ones that make it to the final presentation.
Oh, my God. Yeah, I know that from CitizenCon.
I've been trying to avoid the stress. I have not been following all the QA threads and things. I see it happening. I see people, this is kind of we're screwed. Oh, this is great. We're doing great. Oh, we're screwed. Oh, this is great. It's such a roller coaster. But I think it'll be good. Chris. It's Chris's enthusiasm that is always the big thing. It's him connecting with everybody. And I everything with 3.0 is so cool. So I don't know what they're going to do, but I'm excited.
Very happy I bought that Nox now. After seeing them play with it, I'm very happy about it.
All the bikes are so much fun on the planets.
Unhappy I didn't buy a Cyclone, but I'm using that money to fly, so that's okay. And very unhappy that they're going to have potentially the ship I've been waiting for and not being able to get it because flight time costs a lot of money.
Sorry about that.
No, nothing to be sorry about. What do we always say? You don't have to buy the ship because you could always get it in game.
Yeah, and we kind of had the next couple of big ship events planned out already. And the cool thing about them isn't necessarily buying the ship; it's seeing all the cool material we're putting together. So I'm excited. Even more than this one, I'm excited about the next two because we've just done so much more stuff with them.
All right, cool. But folks, we're not telling you not to buy ships. We're just saying you don't have to buy ships. Paying for a ship today helps the game add more features. I don't know. Helps the game.
Okay.
Helps them stay in business. That's cool. All right, Ben. I want you to go and just be alone and embrace the the solemnness.
That sounds very depressing.
I've been there. I know what it's like. But, you're less than a week away from going back to work and then being there for, 10, 12 hours a day?
Yes.
Yeah.
But thank you, everybody out there, for being so supportive. The easiest way, if anyone wants to chat with me, is Twitter right now. That's Twitter and Discord, I think, are pretty much what I can see really well right now just because of how they look.
Which Discord are you going on?
I have my own secret Discord.
Is it WCN or?
Yeah, I have a WC News Discord we chat on.
All right, good. I just want to know. That way I can grab in, I can jump into that one.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, good. All right, Ben. Thank you very much. And folks, right. If you have anything else that you want to say to Ben, he just told you how to do it. Discord and Twitter. Give him a good shout out and send him some more positive thoughts. Maybe we can get him healed up in 3 days so he can get on an airplane next Thursday and come to Atlanta. No, that's just too much. That's asking too much.
Always hope.
Yeah, we fingers crossed. But we'll have Eric Davis.
Maybe. I hope so. He would be a great guest.
Maybe. He would be. He would be an amazing guest. All right, Ben, I'm going to let you go. Thank you so much for joining me.
Well, thank you for checking in.
Oh, anytime. And with that said, you all be safe out there, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.